I'm back, baby.
Greetings and welcome to another excellent World of Tanks video. Now, what I'm going to show you is a clip that my friend Fish sent to me of a 20-pack of Warlord's chests that he opened. Now, I haven't talked to him, so I don't know specifically how many of the prize tanks he had, but he should have most of them and possibly all of them. He has that many premium tanks, so that is a huge factor in evaluating, are they a good deal for you. So the main points for war chests is to evaluate what they have in there other than gold. Gold is good for everyone, okay? Boosters, days of premium, premium tanks that you get randomly, those are of relative value. Some people are interested in more of one than the other. So if you needed boosters, for example, and you're looking forward to adding premium tanks from that list to this, or to your own stash from these, then it becomes a much better deal. Myself, I am missing 7 of those tanks, so there's no way I would ever get those 7 in chests to make it where I would get a gold refund. I'm not interested in any of those tanks, really. All the ones that I have of that list are ones that are good and interesting to me. I'm not interested in the others. Would I take it for free? Yeah, but I'm not going out of my way to get them, because they're just not worth anything to me, except if I lucked out in them in the past from season passes or war chests from random openings, to where it would eventually yield a potential gold tank refund. Well, other than that, I don't care about them. They're worthless to me. I'm not interested. So this is the thing that you have to understand, is beyond the gold and then the silver that will also come in there, what are you going to get that is of use to you? For me, they really have nothing. So for me, it's very simple. I'm not interested in buying those. Now, like I said, if you want to, out of curiosity, get a 5-pack, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to spend, $35 plus tax, you'd be better off just buying a $30 gold pack, because a $30 gold pack is going to run you, it's going to give you 6,500 gold. Let's go look right here. And there you go. $30 of gold, 6,500. All right. So for a 20-pack to give you 6,500 gold, you're going to have to get an average of 325 gold per chest. That is doable, and if you open them, you could get that result, possibly even slightly higher, which makes it a worthwhile gamble. But that's not what you're going to see here, and that's the whole point. So let's go check out Fish's opening and see exactly what he got. All right, let's rock. Here we go. 20 war chests, one at a time, as it should be. Okay, 50 gold plus a ×4 booster, which ×4 boosters are nice if you're going to be doing any kind of tank in progress. Another 50 gold, and some other generic boosters. But those generic boosters are useful down the road. Another 50 gold, that's 3 in a row, but 3 days of premium, which is good. And one of the things that's going to happen, 400 is nice, is that you're going to get those 50s like 52.5% of the time. Hopefully, you get something good with them. Like that. That's 50 gold plus 5 times 4 boosters, which is very helpful. 550 speaks for itself. That is awesome. Another 550. Now, remember, there are random super prizes like 30 days of premium. Yeah, another 50, but another 5 times 4s. But the problem you might have is if you're not doing progress through the chains of tanks, those times 4 or times 5 tanks is great. But 500, that's a great one. Like I said, you're going to get a good example of what is in these chests. 50 plus more boosters, including Commander booster, that was good. There's also a super prize that's, large values of free experience. Again, that's like the third one of those 5 times 4 boosters, or 5 of the times 4 boosters. I said it, kind of weird. But he's doing pretty good on the mid-range golds. It would help to see an 800 plus or several of those. Those 550s, 500, 470, those were great. But so far, we haven't seen anything really exceeding the mid-range, which is, it's one of the traps. There you go. There's a big free XP. So you get 50 gold plus a chunk of free XP. That's a pretty good result. And, really doing well in the mid-ranges, but, there's low, middle, and high. That's nice. 50 gold plus a, bonus chest. Can't go wrong there. Again, another 50, but another 3 days of premium. Killing it on the mid-range. I wanted to stop here because this shows the final total of 72. 10? No. 3, 2, 1. This is the final spot. I wanted to stop here so you could see the final tally of 7,120 gold from Fish's 1,970 gold. So he got 5,000, was it 150? So he got 5,150 out of his gold packs. Now, the thing that you have to look out for is that there are really 3 major types of gold you're going to get. You're going to get those low ones, the 50s. Okay, that's part of the deal. You're going to get mid-range. He got a bunch of mid-range, and so his mid-range acquisition was killer. And there's also high range, which you would say is probably like 600 and above. I don't recall seeing a single one of those. And so one of the things that can happen is that, you want to have high range gold values, duh. You want to get tanks, duh. Unfortunately, Fish missed out on high range gold and tanks. So all of that being calculated, he also only got 1 bonus chest, which wasn't terrible, but he missed out. Now, on the tanks are 50 gold plus the tank. Now, a tank that you would get will either be one closer to completing the set to set you up for gold tank refunds in the future, or it would, if you already have it, would already be a gold refund. And if you saw my videos that I posted from Bernie in the Vipers season, he, completed, he was missing 3 tanks. He got those. And then from that point forward, in every video, he was getting gold refunds. And that's when you're in just jackpot city. And it just became so ridiculous that we just called it the Bernie bonus. Okay. Now, Fish didn't get that at all. I don't know. Again, I don't know what his tally of premium tank prizes are, but it's going to be very high. He's going to be close, if not having all of them already. Let's just to say in the best case scenario that he has every tank. Let's say that any tank that Fish gets, it would have been a gold refund. Now, those gold refund values are half of the original value. That's the way they have fixed it. Now, the thing is, he got 5150 out of 20 chests. You could say 21 because he got a bonus chest, but it was a bonus chest that came from one of his 20 chests. So from his 20 pack purchase, he ends up getting a bonus chest and then 5150 total. So if we leave it as a 20, he got a little over 250 gold per each chest in this stash. If you count in the bonus chest as a 21st chest, then his net gold per chest is a little less than 250. I would just like to say it's 20 pack. He ended up with getting 250 plus, just a little bit more than 250 per chest, which is not great. That's kind of like I said, if you bought a 20 pack and you wanted to match the gold total from the $30 gold pack of 6,500, you'd have to get 325 gold average per chest. And I don't know if it was bad luck or, whatever you want to call it. Fish did not meet that luck requirement to get, even 325 average. Now, you're gambling on getting a tank with or without a gold refund. You're also gambling on higher gold payouts, 700 plus up to 1,300. He didn't get any of those, so that was bad luck for sure. No tanks he was right around the expectation of getting one tank. Let me see, 3.6 times 20, technically 21 in that regard, would be 3.6% times 20 would be 72, right? 12, yeah, 60, yeah, 72%. So he was expected, mathematically, to get about 3/4 of a tank. Well, how do you get 3/4 of a tank? You don't. You either get a tank or you don't. He got a don't. So, on the expectations that he had, if he did this 4 times, he would be expecting to get a tank 3 of those 4 times. Ballpark, okay? So that didn't work out. So I would say, objectively, without any emotion, his luck was below the normal Fish expectation, all right? I was hoping it would be better for him. It wasn't, but either way, we got objective observation, and we have to analyze this. So for normal people, is it a good deal to buy a 20 pack? In the end, you're the guy that has to make up that decision for himself. I'm giving you the elements, how I would consider it. And in my case, I don't want any of their prize tanks at all. I already have the good ones. So, don't need it. I'm not worried. I don't really go through tank lines. Boosters are nice to have whenever you do it, and I do it very infrequently. So, but essentially 95% of the time I don't do it, so I don't care about boosters really. I don't care about prize tanks of junk tanks I'm never going to use. So that's 2 big strikes for me. It's just not worth it. It's not a good deal for me. And I made this same analysis last season in the Vipers when I bought gold directly, which I had never done before, to buy my Ninja Turtles mega pack because I was never going to get gold refunds, Bernie bonus style. If I'd have been Bernie bonus in that situation, then I could have bought, chest and taken a shot. All right. But it wasn't a good deal. So I bought straight gold because I guaranteed what I was going to get. And that was the best choice for me. Now it's going to vary from person to person. Fish was, he said it wasn't bad. He didn't get any tanks, but it wasn't, a bad result. It wasn't a bad result. It was a real solid result, probably right about middle of the road of what you kind of would expect from a 20 pack. I would hope that if someone bought a 20 pack, that they'd get more than that, better luck, depending, okay? And it's going to vary, like I said, from person to person. You're going to want something different than what I want, maybe. Maybe you want the same thing, who knows? And then what you get is going to, determine whether it's, really useful. He had, like I said, I would say that was a middle of the road result. So great example, though, of the random 20 pack. What can you get? Well, Fish got one and he showed us. So I can tell you this, I won't be buying any of those 20 or 50 packs at all. So let me say that I won't be buying any, 20 or 50 packs for sure. I might pick up a 5-pack just out of curiosity. Okay. But there's no way I'm going to get enough of a result, in my estimation, to warrant spending $35 plus tax for a 20 pack when there's really very little high end for me. So that's the deal. For you, you got to make up your own, expectations. What is it that you need versus what you would like to have? I would have personally loved to have seen Fish pull about 4,000 more gold, plus or minus, in high-end gold payoffs, 800,000, 1,300. That would have been fantastic. It didn't happen. That's the way it goes sometimes. And, he's had a lot of good results in the past. Like I said, this one's kind of middle of the road. Definitely a far cry from the Bernie bonus. I mean, that guy's a freak. He's got the magic touch. I don't know, whatever. But it was a great opportunity to look at those and go, anyone watching my video is more than likely not going to be planning on buying, a 20 pack or a 50 pack in general. Because you're like, do you want to buy a 20 pack and get 5150 gold? The answer is no, and I'm afraid that's going to happen to myself, so I'm not doing it either. There's nothing that we know of today upcoming, and this is week number 2 of the Warlords season. So there's things we don't know, we don't know anything in advance of what's coming up that we might need to buy gold for. So, like myself, I had no idea that Ninja Turtle stuff was coming until it showed up, and it was like, oh. And I took to the very final day to make the decision to get it. I really investigated it. So the same thing could happen. Now, 3, 4, 5 weeks from now, it could change. It's possible. Don't know for sure. But, we'll see what's going on. But just wanted to give this information, give you my take on what I saw. But in the end, that's just an opinion. That's just an analysis. What you need is going to be uniquely special to you, and that's where it really matters. So hopefully this helped you out a lot. You got to see this for yourself, and it's always kind of fun. And I mean, I'm always crossing your fingers that someone gets something great. So I want to thank Fish for sending me the video. I'm just sorry it wasn't more for you, but trust me when I tell you this. He's had some absolutely phenomenal results in the past. And he's a big boy. He's like, you can't hit a home run every time. Basically, this would count as, in baseball terms, as about a double. Real solid. but nothing extra special. So hopefully you enjoy this. Hopefully you'll get the information you need for this. I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Look forward to seeing you guys again in another video. I have other videos coming up that I haven't published yet, so keep your eyes open on that. Of course, Friday will be a Ninja Turtles Friday. We'll have some great Ninja Turtle videos from tanks, and that's about it. So look forward to seeing you guys again real soon, and as always, like and subscribe.